Welcome everybody to the Growth Mastermind Group Zoom call, hosted every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time by myself, Tony, and Peter. Today's guest is Emanuel. So just a quick introduction, as we always do. Emanuel is an expert in overcoming fear, author. I'm sorry, let me start again. I think I went ahead of myself. Emanuel is an expert on overcoming fear, author, speaker, and an award-winning entertainer. Outside of a successful 16-year career in entertainment, Emanuel hosts seminars, workshops, boot camps, and mentorship programs to guide people to gain the courage so that they can unlock their happiness by conquering their fears. So with that, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
Very happy to have you. So interesting story. So we actually wanted to have you here a long time ago. I remember when we first started doing these calls, we asked everybody, we did like a survey in the WhatsApp group. So we're like, hey guys, like what's a good topic? Who has something that they could share that could add value to the group, and who would like to speak first? So we had like a list. You, sir, were on the very top of that list there for a while.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man, absolutely. So it's really cool to see you come back around, to be able to finally have you on the show. And a lot of people know you, the F principle, of course, the what everybody saw, the Growth Con at the 10X Growth Con last year, the Fuck Fear t-shirt guy. So there you go.
Oh, man.
Bit of a celebrity.
It just vanished. I don't think it's censoring me.
So really cool to have you, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, to get right into it, to start off with our lead off question. So tell us your story, man. Tell us about your journey and how you got to be where you are today.
Ooh, okay. So I'll do the quick short version because the long version is going to take over 5 hours. It's just a lot of experience in my life. I pretty much grew up fearing everything, from falling down 2 steps. I've gained fear of heights that paralyzed me for a while. And it was so difficult to go in because since I was afraid, I was giving off that vibrations and the aura that I was afraid of everything. And people doubted me that I couldn't do anything. When I was 15 and my dad passed away, I was actually prescribed antidepressants and ADHD pills. And the psychologist went out and told me, Emanuel, you will not graduate high school and you will not get anywhere in life unless you take these pills. Or a psychiatrist, there are like 2 of the people. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm 15 here, And I mean, I never really understood that. I always tried to find how I can become happier in my life. And when I did that, I realized that, okay, the only thing that's stopping me is fear. And I try to overcome fear, and overcoming fear doesn't help. For everyone that thinks overcoming fear, I know on the profile, it said, I overcome fears. It's actually conquering, and I'm going to get into that. Okay, make sure to ask me about that. It's a big difference. So I got into entertainment, so people, because I used to get bullied. I used to be 135 pounds. People would bully me by my looks. Some people called me a monkey because I used to have big ears when I was a kid. And I was just called different names like Skeletor and everything. So I created a persona that I wanted to become, that Mr. Hollywood kind of character, kind of like Conor McGregor-esque character, very controversial. And after 16 years, I finally reached the peak of everything that I've wanted. I've been in the magic industry for 16 years in my life, and I created a brand that stood out to so many. I became hated, I became loved, and all I wanted was to be loved, respected, and achieve everything. And so when I got to the very top, I toured around North and South America, not all South America, a bit of South America, and and if you're ever in Toronto, you're going to see a mural of me painted in downtown Toronto to represent the entire art scene. Performed and taught in Vegas. I was like, okay, my job here is done. I don't know what else to do. I'm unhappy. So even though I've had everything in my life, I was still unhappy. And I was like, okay, what is it that I really want? I really have to do some soul searching. And I realized the reason why I was unhappy is because deep down, while I overcame the fears, the root of the fear was still there.
Mm.
And I still had the fear of judgment. I still had the self-sabotaging and lack of self-belief. Those are the three things that just completely crushed me. And I realized that it crushes everyone. And what the difference was before then and now is the mindset change. And it's something that I call the fearless mindset, because I realized it's not just me that was afraid of everything. A lot of people are scared of a lot of things in their life. And that's why I started coming up with a way. How do I change that mindset? Right? How do I, like everyone's told, oh, stop playing the victim card.
Mm.
Don't be a little bitch, how GC always says. But no one ever says how. Like, how do you do that?
Mm.
And that's when I really started thinking about it more and more. And I came up with what I call the fearless mindset. It's a mindset that is pretty much utilized as a tool to start conquering all the fears. And ultimately is one of the main things to start unlocking your happiness.
That's awesome,
That
man.
was it.
No, great stuff. And, I'm sure a lot of people could relate to that, for sure. Tell me a little bit more about that turning point. Like, what was that pivot point for you, like when you kind of had that realization, or, when you were finally able to turn the corner?
The realization when I decided to quit entertainment. Like, I just left entertainment cold turkey, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to help people. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And I created a program to kind of like to become authentic. And it was called an Unmasking Program. And I I wrote a little booklet before. It was called the F Principle Express, hence the name F Principle. Before it was just the F Principle Express. I went by the name Jack Von Spade. And that booklet, people were like, yo, you'll never write a book. You'll never be an author. You never, took the necessary steps to write a book. So you'll never write a book.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay. I still wrote it, 17 pages as a little booklet, became Amazon's bestseller. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. There's something here. And that's when I realized, okay, there is a lot more. And I invested into starting the company of the F Principle with a goal of becoming the leading name, the brand name in self-help. So whenever someone in the future will think of self-help, happiness and how to get the mindset right, I want them to know me.
That's amazing, man. So you wrote a book with like no like prior experience. You just kind of like
No,
just went at it.
yeah, it took me 2 months for 17 pages, but I did it.
2 months or so. Wow.
It's like everyone told me, because I'm pretty hearing impaired. It's hard for me to hear. And long story short, had a lot of ear infections. So I lost all my hearing when I moved to Canada. Somehow, I don't know how, I regained like 60 or 70% of my hearing. So people told me I'll never write music because I can't really hear properly, which is true. I can't. And then people told me, because I used to competitively dance in ballroom and Latin,
Oh, wow.
which people bullied me for.
That's pretty
So
cool.
people told me, you'll never win any competitions because, well, you can't hear the music. And they were right. Every time someone tells me that I can't do it, they're right. And I respect that, because what they really mean is that I can't do it if I was in their shoes.
Hmm.
So, but I'm not in their shoes. So what I did with the dancing, since I can't hear the music, I decided to start feeling the rhythm. And by feeling the rhythm, I was able to go out and win several competitions and compete for Canada. And the same thing with music. I can't tune a guitar right now, even to this day. Yeah, I can still play
You
because I
play
feel the rhythm.
you play guitar?
Yeah, I play guitar, drums, bass, bongos, djembe, a lot of stuff.
We just started a band, man. Actually, I DJ part time, but I used to be in a band for many years. We never, it was like in high school, but I would actually play the bass. I wouldn't call it singing, more screaming. It was kind of like hardcore metal type of.
Yeah.
But I respect musicians, man. I connect to people that play, especially you. I mean, you play drums, guitar, bass.
Oh,
That's
100%.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my major priority right now. I do have a little music plan right now with a few friends. I'm not going to mention it yet.
Oh.
There are some big names in the books. So that's the only project I'm going to do with music, and I don't see myself at the moment going towards music. I mean, I'm being very honest. I don't mean to be rude, but
Yeah.
that's the way it is, you know.
So like,
So
what do you usually do, like full time, like what's a regular day for you, like Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5? Is everything focused just on, your mentorship? Because I know you have like a lot of different programs, the F
yeah,
principle. I know you have a boot camp coming up, which I'm sure you'll tell us about in a little bit.
yeah.
So what do you usually do, like on the day to day?
Well, my day to day starts with, first of all, waking up and getting right into the fearless mindset exercise. I'm going to share it with you guys. It's a super simple exercise that changes lives. It's right now it's being used in New York by school psychologists.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's been helping people a lot. And whoever, if you're watching this and you've been doing it, you can say how much it helped you. So yeah, so that's the first thing I start, and then I see what's important, what is in my day. You know, right now I have a lot of projects. I'm also working on a new book. First, out of 8 books, I came with an agreement to write up 8 books. First one, I'm starting to write it, called "Cracking the Universe:
Mm.
How to Get Whatever the Fuck You Want." So it's
Love
pretty
it.
much, it's all like it's secrets, and it's like everything to expect when you want something so bad. What are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go with it? You know, a lot of people, they say they want something, and then life would put them in an adversity. They're going to give some complications, and then they back off. Right. So that book, that's what the whole book's about. Another thing I'm doing is, yeah, definitely the workshop that's coming up. The program, I'm constantly trying to help. My goal for this year is to help 1,500 people. So every single day I wake up and I think, what can I do today to help 1,500 people by the end of the year?
Mm.
So that's, it's all goal oriented. I used to do like have a planner and everything, the 10X planner. It's, while it's amazing, it's all over here now.
Mm.
If you have the impossible goal, I created something called the impossible goal. And it's one of the things that gets you completely motivated as fuck.
That's
So,
interesting, man.
yeah, it depends really. Like I said, I don't have a day to day. I don't have a 9 to 5. The F principle is my life. Is all I do right now.
That's fantastic. So that's interesting because, like, with somebody like me, I'm very methodical. I'm very organized. I have to have things like laid out in a blueprint, sort of a format. That's actually one thing that I rely on a lot is actually the 10X planner. Like, I have that thing, but it's interesting though because you kind of said something that I thought about now. It's like a lot of times, like I'll have kind of like a general idea and I'll have things in blocks of time, but then the day will take a different turn, and then it's almost like something mental starts to happen. So I still accomplish the same things, but kind of like on a different schedule. So I think, yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes you kind of have to just kind of be driven by, the things that you have to take care of and just kind of let things kind of fall into place. I guess I mean, what do you think? Is it like maybe two different schools of thought? Like one, I used to work with this guy. I'll never forget him. My buddy, I haven't really talked to him in years, but he was like, like when we would go out to lunch and there'd be like a long line at the Wendy's or at the, whatever it is. I'd start getting nervous. I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna be back to work late. It's gonna be
yeah,
chaos. They're gonna yell at us. He's like, Tony, don't worry, everything's gonna work out. You just have to have faith. And it was like something
yeah,
so silly, just being and somehow this guy was like a magician. Like we would always get back to work right on time. But he just had this
yeah,
belief, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like just kind of like let things fall into place, just believe, have like that goal that, in your head, and then things will just kind of like naturally, kind of happen. And then there's other people like how I usually am with like the goal setting and the having everything written out. So I mean, what do you think about that?
yeah. So it depends. It depends on how big your business is, right? And what it is, it's like if you have a massive business, you got to schedule yourself. Okay, this time I got to be here, and then I got to be here. I got to be here. I got to be here. Right now, I will get to that place eventually, and I'm gonna definitely have a certain schedule. But at the moment, you know, there's also a time and a place for something called courage and self-belief. When you're so sure of yourself, you're so sure that you're going to succeed, and you do everything you can, right? It's not about working hard, it's about working smart. Lately, I haven't been working as much as I used to, and I've been getting way more results. So it's like the 80-20 principle. It's doing 80% of the work with 20% of the effort. So if you understand that, it's going to be really cool. Over here, I see a few comments. Sorry, I didn't get back to you guys. And who I'm trying to see, everyone's like, people are writing it up. One sec. Wow, my mouse sensitive. So I see someone told me to crush it, Emanuel, rocket bro. Is that Enrique? Or no, Tony. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Yeah, Amanda drew some really awesome comment here of the fearless mindset. Who wants to read it?
I'll read it.
I'll feel bad if I do.
Oh, you're good, dude. Enrique, shout out to my boy Enrique. What's up, man? Thank you for joining us. And on this note, thank you as well, everybody, for joining us this evening. So Amanda writes, this is really nice. The fearless mindset exercises are a huge part of my life. That is awesome. Right after opening my eyes and meditating, I started the exercises in front of a mirror. It's helped me tremendously these past few months when I went through some very difficult personal issues. It helped me remember who I am and all the things I've accomplished, and kept me going when it was hard to even get out of bed. Wow, that is awesome. That's an excellent review there. Wow.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
Music to your ears, right? When you doing what you do, when you hear that kind of a feedback, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's something that I've worked on for so long, and I realized people don't have to go through what I've gone through anymore. This is the shortcut. This is the how. Everyone wants to know the how, and that's what it is. So that's the whole thing. I mean, when it comes back to scheduling, you got to learn how. Scheduling is important. But if you simplify everything, like in the future, when I have a whole organization happening, I'm going to have people. Yeah. Okay. This is a schedule. Okay. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. You're in charge of this. You make your schedules, get it done, go. But my schedule is going to be always the same. I could go with a schedule, but at the same time, I like the freedom. I don't want to be tied to a schedule and not be able to do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like me, that you're always like rearranging. It's like, oh wow, I couldn't do this.
Yeah,
I got complicated. Okay, cross it out. Let me add that here. Oh, this came up now. I couldn't do.
Yeah,
so it's like.
And then when you're like, oh crap, I didn't finish this. I got to finish it, and then you put your entire schedule. It's good if you know how to utilize it properly. And a lot of the times, people don't. They fill themselves in, and the reason why I don't do that is because I like to feel good. There's no part of my day that makes me feel like I failed something. Even if I didn't finish something on time, I don't feel like I failed it. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to kind of have like the mindset of now look at, like kind of just, have the perception, the viewpoint of seeing things not as failures, but as setbacks. So it's like, all right, this happened. I couldn't, finish my goal or whatever it is I want to accomplish. Instead of looking at it as a failure, look at it as either an opportunity to improve, or just as a minor setback, and just kind of a lot of the times it's kind of like your perception, like how you look at things.
Exactly. And if it's setting you back, don't, like a lot of people, they tend to be like, oh crap, they get anxious, because they're running late. They have a deadline. I guess there's a deadline for a project. But you got to schedule it in a way that you're going to finish it maybe 1 or 2 days ahead, like before. And that way you do it, finish it. If you don't finish it, you still have 2 days, right? So it all depends on that. It's all about like doing 80% of the work, 20% of the time.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you to definitely share with us that exercise that you mentioned, but before that, just wanted to check in with Peter. I know Peter wasn't feeling too good today. Wanted to just check in real quick with him, see how he's doing. Peter, could you hear us?
Yeah, we're good. Can you hear me?
Did you have anything you want to add or ask for Emanuel?
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. For me, it's like free. It's one of the things that always keep us back on all the levels, no matter what it is. So. But in the same time, it's good to have fear. So fear it's bad and good. Depends how you watch it.
It's beautiful.
Because when you have the fear. Fear pushes you, makes you to do things that you don't want to do. So sometimes it's bad to have that fear because it stops you for progressing, for doing stuff. I would say to improve your life. But on the same token, if you don't have fear, basically you're not gonna do nothing that's gonna push you forward, because sometimes that fear is the same one that it's acting as makes us to be aware, to learn, to improve, to change, to adapt. So I resonate with everything you said, but I just want to add this thing that I think it's important for everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing with fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why I say it's beautiful, and then I have a shirt saying "fuck fear."
Fuck fear.
You know, fear is it's something that we create in our mind,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the times people don't tend to actually conquer it. And I was saying overcoming, right? So when you overcome fear, you don't really take control of it. The point of fear is to use it as fuel, and to do that, you have to take control of the fear, the very essence, the whole root of fear, and you got to rip it out. And how I say it, make it your bitch by eating it and swallowing it and making
Yep.
it a part of you. And it's been very difficult to do that, especially nowadays when we get like all these empty motivational quotes saying, face everything and rise. It's one of the, I can't stand that quote. Like it's so empty, all of these things that they tell you what to do, but how do you do it? What? So that's the whole thing, it's not something that, like, we always get it. It's what we do with it.
Do you have a certain ritual that you use when you're trying to overcome some fears about doing anything? I
Sorry?
don't. Do you have any ritual that you use, for instance, you're trying to do something and you encounter this, maybe I'm gonna fail or maybe I'm gonna do something wrong? Do you have a ritual like a sequence that you use
Absolutely, yeah.
from
It's the
fear?
fearless mindset. It's the fearless mindset, my friend. It's the exercise that I've been
Okay.
talking about. Okay. And this exercise in particular is 3 steps. Okay. So if you have a pen and paper,
Let's
take it
do it.
out, get ready to write it down, and the first thing you want to know is everything that you absolutely love about yourself. Write down 10 things. Most people can't even do that.
You said 10 things, right?
10 things that you love most about yourself. Then the second thing what you want to do is write down all of your greatest accomplishments. Okay? And the third thing is the best thing of them all. Write down everything that makes you laugh. Write down everything that makes you lol, ruffle, all of that. And there's a reason behind it. This exercise is so stupidly simple, yet is so powerful. Because I'm going to question everyone right now. Who can guess, well, except for Amanda, because you do it on a daily, who can guess what this exercise actually does for you? Go ahead, Peter and Tony. You can definitely chime in.
I think it's getting a peace with yourself, to accept you, whatever you do, to see the positive side, to see I would say the things that makes you rolling, and is switching that mind from like maybe I'm not good enough to hey, look what I accomplished, look what I did, what are the things that I creates my love towards myself. And at the end of the day, when you start to find things that they are they make you laugh, you convert that fear in something that, hey, I'm not so bad, I think I can do this. Is switching that mindset from I cannot to yes I can.
You are so close, and I love it. So the laughing part is very important, because whenever you're in a bad mood, what does laughing do? Try laughing right now. Like, think of something funny.
Done.
See, it makes you smile, right? And not a lot of people realize the power of that, because when you're in a bad spot, right, and you start watching something funny, like right now, here and there I watch Friends, here and there I watch Cockatoo being really angry with its owner, because it makes me laugh. And when I laugh, I smile. And when we smile, it's scientifically proven is we get more dopamine, like those chemical reaction that makes us happier. And when we are happier, we kind of like expel the negativity from us, and we welcome the positivity, because now we're happier. And then when we're happy, we focus, okay, hey, what is it that I love about myself? Why am I so good? Boom, 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 you know, all the 10 things. And then you go, okay, there's I love this about myself. Let's look at what I've achieved, right? And this is the answer to everything. You do this first thing in the morning. You're focusing on yourself. That's the first thing you do. And most people don't even do that. I guarantee you 99.9% of the people, they don't focus on themselves the very first thing in the morning. The first thing usually, like, I mean, Tony, what's the first thing you focus on when you wake up?
Yeah, you know, it's sad. I'll have to admit it. When I wake up, the first thing I do is check my phone, because by checking my phone, it kind of starts to almost like it's like the ignition of the engine. I start to kind of wake up by flipping through it and checking different things. So that's kind of like the first thing I do.
Okay, so when you check your phone and do you go on social media?
I do.
Okay, what's the first thing you saw today on social media?
Facebook. I hate to admit.
Yeah. Sorry?
Oh, the first thing I saw. Oh, I don't even remember. No clue.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I know I went to Facebook, but I do not recall what I saw there. It's mostly trash.
Exactly. So the first thing you're feeding yourself and you're focusing on is trash.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at, you know. And I always tell you, you know, you have to absolutely stay off social media before you go to bed and when you wake up.
When you wake up.
Because especially in days like today, right? I think both of you can agree that most of our Facebook feeds are filled with either, you know, political posts.
Oh God, yeah.
Anti, you know, like anti-masks posts. Like, oh, don't be part of the sheep. Stuff like that, you know, conspiracy theory, all those negative shit that goes on. Or even worse, the news. It's like people are sharing the news, and the news, why is it so popular? It's because we connect based on negativity instead of positivity today. And that's one massive, massive mistake that we as people do. We like, look at all the stuff that's like, hey, what's the worst thing that happened to you? Well, my life is so much worse than yours. What? You know, and this is, it's ridiculous. You know, Troy did it right. First thing he does when he gets up, give thanks to the Creator, and then check to see if his wife is okay. And that's amazing. It's beautiful, right? But one thing I'm really, and a lot of people may agree or disagree, but if you can focus on yourself first, you can then help yourself first so you can help others. And I really call that selfishly selfish. Sorry, selfishly selfless, right? The reason behind that is you can't help people unless you help yourself, right? So I understand I'm not going to get into religion or spirituality here, but I'm getting into, I don't know, I have to come up with a name for that, you know, selfality or something, expression of self-love. Because when you first focus on yourself, you remind yourself of how amazing you are, everything you've achieved, your day is going to be that much better, because then you're going to be ready to rock and roll. Yeah. There's gratitude. Gratitude is also important. But it's nothing, and trust me with this, nothing is as important as loving yourself first. Because that's what changes everything. Yes, it's good to be grateful. I have a lot about gratitude. In fact, in the next webinar, the workshop that I have next weekend, we have Carolyn Flower talking specifically about gratitude and happiness.
Mm.
And yeah,
especially now.
exactly.
So
As Troy said, that's
can't give what you don't. Yeah, Troy
no,
says that's powerful. You cannot give what you don't have. That's
yeah,
excellent. Yeah.
exactly. So how can you love other people throughout the day if you can't love yourself first?
Yeah, and I like what Peter said. Gratitude. That's to me, that's very powerful. And that's
Yeah,
actually, yeah. I mean, the checking the phone is just kind of like something I do to just stimulate my brain and just kind of. So I'll check the Facebook, stocks, like other, whatever, seeing what's going on, just to kind of wake my brain up. But I know it's a bad practice. I got to find something a little more creative and conducive to waking up at the same time, but kind of not seeing like because there's a lot of noise, man. Like on Facebook. See, because what I do is for my company, I do sales and media. So a lot of times
mm-hmm.
I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and checking the corporate account and maintaining it and posting and creating all this stuff. But it's like one thing I'm noticing is that aside from work and waking up in the morning and doing this action just to kind of ignite my brain, I don't find myself on Facebook as much as I used to, or just social media, on a personal level altogether, because it's so negative, man. It is. And like you said, oh, the president, oh, the this, oh, the that, oh, all this political. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never ever been, even during like the MySpace days. I don't know how old you are or what, if you remember that,
I know MySpace. I'm old enough for MySpace and ICQ.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I've never seen a moment in time. I don't know if this is all stemming from this world crisis with the COVID, but so much negativity. And it seems to be,
Yeah.
it seems to start here in the US, at least in my perspective, and just kind of branches out everywhere. Or I don't know what it is, man, but there's so much noise and negativity. Like unless it's for business, I don't even really go on Facebook anymore or other, social media platforms. There's too much noise, too much negativity.
And I'm going to give you some wicked value right now for sales, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you though, when you sell, right? If you can't sell yourself on the product, can you ever sell it onto someone else ethically?
No,
You can?
you have to have full belief in your product or service to be able to sell it.
Exactly. And how do you attract more people to you with happiness? How can you not be? How can you attract people if you are not fully happy yourself?
Right.
Really think about that. You work on yourself first thing in the morning, become happier, you're going to see your sales increase. I've done sales in my life as well. Since I was 14, I was a telemarketer. And I had to shift I realized like later on in my life that how much I could have gotten, because on my happier days, I got more sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
From telemarketing and also doing door to door, like not door to, I did garage doors. I was selling garage doors. I was taking leads after, and then I was going on. So, there's a big difference. If you're not happy, you're not going to sell much, if anything.
Yeah, and I could personally attest to like the days that I would be in I was doing working for inbound, outbound call centers. I did door to door B2B, and that's one thing. Like the better that you feel, the better of in the mood that you are. I noticed on those days I would get more sales. It was no secret. In the days that I felt negative, I was mad, I got a cancellation, I got a chargeback, I was in a pissy mood, all of a sudden my sales went down. So it's like we were talking about earlier, it all starts here.
Yeah, exactly. And you do these 3 exercises, your mind's gonna, I don't even know how to explain it. It's gonna be like, it's gonna grow, and you're gonna see not just your work grow. You're going to see your life grow. You're going to see, if you wake up and you become happy and then you go spread that happiness with your spouse, you know what I mean? Your spouse will be happier as well.
Absolutely. So guys, does anybody here, if you have, if you want to add anything, I know we have a little bit of a smaller, tighter group this evening. If anybody has something they want to contribute, a question, if you want to type it in chat, if you want to raise your hand, I can unmute you. I know some folks sometimes don't know how to raise their hand if they're on a cell phone, so I could just drop a comment in chat and I can unmute you. So I do see Troy here with his hand up. Let me unmute you, Troy. One moment, sir.
Yeah, if there's any questions on Facebook or YouTube, let me know. I'm answering him. I'm answering everything.
Uh, wow. I just want to say, Emanuel, thank you a whole lot, man. You're really crushing it. The concept is, I mean, I can't even believe how simple, yet how powerful it is. And as I'm listening to you, and because of the kind of week I had, I'm seeing, I mean, your timing of your presentation is ideal. Because when I am what sharing now with what was shared last week, I mean, it almost creates a total different person. So I really wanted to say thank you for sharing. I'm not a person who suffers with fear, but I have a lot of persons who are around me because of the environment who are fearful to step out. So I'm really grateful for you sharing these exercises because this is now something that I definitely gonna be using this week with my friends and family. And you guys may not know, but a lot of stuff I shared here, I start by sharing it within my household with my wife and three kids. So thanks a whole lot, man. I really appreciate it. Just wanted to say that
Oh,
to you.
my pleasure, man. My pleasure. You know what? I'm going to let you guys know for a limited time. I'm going to give you guys a link. You can get the Fearless Mindset exercise for free. I'm going to give that out. Now, the page I'm giving you right now, I'm just giving you a heads up. It is a page for the Fearless Mindset Challenge, but I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to. I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything. I'm not here to sell. This is if you go down on the very bottom, you can get the Fearless Mindset exercise for free, and you can go
Thank
over
you.
it. It has so it's like a PDF file for you to actually put in, and everything is. I'm actually writing it down right now. So it's https www.theprinciple.com/fearless mindset. You go there and you're going to get it's a whole exercise. Just go scroll to the very bottom. They're going to see it. Get the fearless mindset exercise for free. I want to make it
Thank you.
available for you guys because, and I know everyone is going to help everyone.
Absolutely.
You know, so I mean, there's just so much to it. I could go on and on about it. You know,
Uh,
but
I love to listen just as a kind of to talk about morning routines. For me, I
yeah,
love to listen to everything that's encouraging. It's like, like me and my wife, we are like listening to either Brian Tracy with No Excuses or, different topics, but we try to avoid social media until like we don't finish the workout that we're trying to do every morning. And it's like we wake up, we prepare the day, then the kid is waking up, we have the breakfast. After the breakfast, we do the exercise, and after that, our day starts. So we're trying to kind of keep this routine over and over, and we get to the point that now the kid knows, even if it's 5 only, and he's asking, "Hey, we didn't exercise. We have to exercise." So he knows that,
mhm,
and that gives us enough. I would say it's an interesting mind that you start with. When you start with the idea that we don't have nothing negative. I don't have TV. I don't use TV. So almost like I think 2007 I stopped to use TV, and since 2007 I don't have at all. I don't have cable. I don't have nothing. So and I stay away from social media as much as possible. And in the evening I like to listen to. It is called hypnotic trances. Like for instance, like. Uh, how to have infinite discipline or how to become your ideal yourself, how to be happy, and like deep sleep hypnosis. I don't know if you see
yeah,
it. And this is what, for me, this is what I feel like it is the one that it's more, I will say, um, switching me as a mind, like not to have negative in the morning. I'm trying my best to stay as positive as possible, not to think to stuff. Yeah, even if like life pushes you towards you, I like to see like whatever is the challenge that you get is just a gift that he was given to you, wrap up very heavy package.
mhm,
As more pressure it is what you have, as more wraps you have around it. You just have to have the patience to understand, to learn from it, and to use it towards your life for
absolutely.
so,
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I'm going to tell you straight up that the only thing that stops you from being fully happy is fear. There's fears, and I promise all of you, I even know this from personal experience. There's fears that we don't even know or we are even aware of. And these fears, they're still there. Just because we're not aware of them, it doesn't mean we don't have them.
Subconscious fears, right?
Sorry?
Like subconscious fears?
Not just subconscious. It's just, there's fears, right? It's like how it works, right? Fear, let's get it. First of all, I'm going to describe fear for the first time here. I should have done that earlier on. But fear is an emotion caused by the belief that something bad or negative is about to happen to you. I'm going to say that again because I want you guys to understand this. Fear is an emotion caused by the belief that something bad or negative is about to happen to you. What that means, and the key word in there is a belief. It's a made up emotion. And that emotion, it sticks. When you create this belief that something bad's about to happen. Like, for example, when I fell off the two steps. I fell from 2 steps. And then when I was going up a roller coaster, I was like shaking, nearly peeing myself, you know. And then when I realized, when I actually got around to it, I realized, hey, that's the reason. It's 2 steps, really? Is this why I'm afraid of heights? You know, people say, oh, I'm afraid of flying. Most of the time, it's not true because they don't know how it's like to fly. They're afraid of either not being in control. They're afraid of the unknown, right? They're also afraid of heights. You know, maybe they're afraid of being in a small environment. You know, like a plane is not that big. Let's be real. It's long, but it's not that big. And there's a lot of people there, right? So maybe they're afraid of that. But it's never flying. And people don't know their actual fears. And to find out your actual fears, if something bugs you, ask yourself why. Why is it bugging you? Like, okay, so I'm afraid of heights. I was afraid of heights. Why? Well, I realized that when I went on the roller coaster and I couldn't go on because I looked down. Why? Because I'm afraid I'm gonna fall. Oh, I'm afraid of falling from high ends. Why? Because I fell off a skateboard. No, not the reason. Why? You know, you ask yourself why until you get to the very root. When you get to the very root, then you understand that it doesn't even make sense for you to be afraid. When you have enough value for a result, I'm explaining this in sales terms, all right? And rather business terms and business related. When the value of the result is higher than the price of fear, you're gonna go for the value. Just like a sale, right? So, and usually I'm gonna tell you straight up, there's 3 things that cause the biggest fears. It's lack of self-belief, fear of judgment, and self-sabotage. Those are the 3 things. There is nothing else that you can be afraid of that's going to screw around with your happiness. So I know I just said a ton right here. So if you have any questions, I'm open to questions, whether it's YouTube, Facebook. I don't know if you're on Instagram Live or not.
No, I'm not on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram. If there's any questions, I'm willing to answer here as well, of course.
Also, in the mean, Troy, I see Troy's hand is up. I'm going to unmute Troy in case he had a question or comment.
Sorry, Tony, my hand was up from before, but since you're going to give me the opportunity, I'm not going to waste it here. Good. How I really want to ask Emanuel in terms of then how do we then deal with these fears now, having recognized that what we thought was a fear is not it, and I haven't asked enough ways, because I, like you, I was afraid of flying for many years, until I took a 14-day trip across Europe, where I did like 8 flights. All fear was then gone. And then, like you said, I recognized it wasn't the fear of flying; it was the fear of not being in control. So, the question I would have to ask you: how do we then overcome the fears once we recognize that they're there. Because
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't suggest you overcoming fears.
okay,
I suggest you
how
conquering them,
okay, so
and
okay,
making them your bitch. Pardon the language, but yeah. So that's a great question, actually. So usually when you feel like you can't, you like question yourself. When you question yourself, okay. Before I started this company, the Principle, I have a big brand name in magic. I was performing a lot. I had like a half a year tour lined up, and I was scared. Like I didn't know I was scared of leaving everything and starting the Principle, right? And the way what happens is like you realize, okay, I'm not ready, but why? Right? It always comes down to why. You don't want to do it. Why? Is it not going to make you happy? Okay, then don't do it. If there's something that you want to do, but you feel something's holding you back, it's fear. Now you got to understand, what is it a fear of? Is it that you don't believe in yourself to do this? Because I didn't believe in that I was ever going to make the Principle as big as it is right now. And it's only growing, right? Is it going to, or is it like you're afraid that people are going to judge you for your decision that you make? Or you're not doing it because you feel you'd rather conform and you self-sabotage yourself, right? There's always one of these three reasons. And when you find out those reasons, which one it is, you can tackle it. And I can't really say, hey, how do I conquer this fear in just, a few minutes? It's a whole long process, right? You got to get the fearless mindset exercise, practice it daily. That way you'll know more about yourself. So what really helped me starting the Principle was the fact that, hey, I knew my achievements in the past. Okay. I said that I was going to perform in front of 40,000 people. I've done that. I'm like, okay, if I can do that and I started a massive brand in magic, I can do it again, right? If I've done it once, I can do it again. So what it was the lack of self-belief for me when I started. So how I did that is, first of all, I started believing in myself. I looked at all the achievements that I've made in my life. And that's when I really went, okay, I can do it. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. It took me 3 years to finally stop with magic and start pursuing that Principle. So the point was, I realized I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy performing. I wasn't happy, it doesn't matter the money. I wasn't happy, and that's when I'm like, okay, I need to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be the best self. People, like if I'm to help people, I have to help myself first. So I transitioned, and most people from the magic chapter completely ghosted me. You got to understand that with every big move, there's going to be consequences, and you got to, as I always say, exactly as GC says, things don't happen to you, they happen because of you. And one of my favorite lines that I really want everyone to write down, because this is going to help you a lot, okay? It's actually got this. I don't know if any of you watched the cartoon in the 90s, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. I don't
It was
remember
the
Gargoyles,
most epic line I've ever heard. And that line was by Puck. He was saying, it just like left my head. Life doesn't take you where you want to go. It takes you where you need to be. So try to take accountability and focus on the positives rather than play the victim and focus on the negatives. It's so much easier to play the victim. I get that. I was there, and remember, the reason why, there's always a reason for everything. The reason, and I talk about, I'm going to get into a bit of cracking the universe, right? Let's say there is regular goals, and then there's your massive, or I prefer impossible goals. Everything that's in between, right? So if your goals are a bit bigger than the normal, everything in between is adversity. Life's going to throw curveballs. It's going to make you want to give up. And if you give up, it means you don't want it enough. And life's going to be like, yeah, I gave you a shot. You just chickened out. And the bigger it is over here. So it's so much more adversities. So if you want to shoot up like that, look at the amount of adversities right here. So you got to be ready for that. And to be ready for that, you got to have the courage. You got to be able to conquer the lack of self-belief. You got to be able to conquer the self-sabotage. And most importantly, the fear of judgment. Because the biggest thing that's going to stop most people is the fear of judgment. So it's super simple, yet no one talks about it. We are used to waking up 9 to 5, or on the entrepreneur lifestyle, we wake up and we focus on the hustle. We don't focus on ourselves. And when we don't focus on ourselves, life doesn't focus on us. It doesn't. You can work, and you're going to work to your grave. But I hope that doesn't happen, right? You get bigger results when you're happy as fuck. So it's a proven thing. It's proven for me, and for a lot of other people. Not few, but a few recently, but a lot in total. Because I've been doing that. I've been talking about that, and it's not easy to accept at the beginning. But when you finally get it, I promise you 15 minutes a day, okay? If you're watching this, get the Fearless Mindset exercise, theupprinciple.com/fearless mindset. And I promise you, you do that 15 minutes a day, every single day, you start memorizing it, you're gonna see the difference in your life. And then within the next week, if you're in this group, write in the Facebook group if it helped you, how it helped you, how do you feel? Because I promise you, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better.
Powerful stuff, man. Love it. How do they, what's the, do you have a link for the Facebook group?
Your Facebook group?
Oh.
I'm promoting your Facebook group, buddy.
Oh, and our, okay, got it.
Yeah.
I thought you had like a nut principle or
I do have it's facebook.com/group/the Principle, I think. Yeah, Enrique, you have to sign off, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Thanks for everyone. Also, it's just like, I really want to know how it helps, because if it helped you, that's one person less that I have to help out of the 1,500 people that I'm going to help by the end of this year.
Right. Bring that number down little by little, small steps. So, yeah, I see we've run out of time, but before you let us go, I know that you have a 2-day boot camp coming up next weekend.
Absolutely, yeah.
So everybody could go. Can you let us know about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not here to sell anything, but if you are interested in the 3 major things to conquer lack of self-belief, fear of judgment, and the self-sabotaging, and really dig deep in, it's on next weekend, July 18th and 19th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time. I don't know if it's standard or daylight, Eastern Time. And you can get that in, I'm going to put the link in over here. What it is actually the workshop itself is free. It's the only time it'll ever be free. It's a $2,500 program. But if you get the Happiness Unlocked program right now, which is also on sale for $497, you get a ticket into it, to the 2-day workshop. So like I said, this is just as an extra. If you guys want to take advantage of that, absolutely. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. But if not, like I said, there's no pressure. And this is the link, theupprinciple.com/unlock. So that's going to be really exciting. And I mean, that's the most I can do. If you want to go on with, again, the Fearless Mindset, you can take it. You can take on the challenge as well. But other than that, I'm here to help you out as much as I can.
That's all. And this is going to be with you and a couple other folks presenting?
Yeah, so on Saturday, we have Jose Garcia. He's going to be talking about greatness and understanding what it is, like, how do you be great? And on Sunday, we have Carolyn Flower. She's an award-winning author and publisher, and also the CEO of Oxygen Publishing Company, which I'll be publishing the book. And she is going to be discussing gratitude. So the whole program is about getting the fearless mindset, understanding the 3 big pillars of fear that really crush your and kill your happiness with a bit of extra stuff. I am working on big names eventually, but it's just the beginning.
That's awesome, man. And about your book, as you mentioned the book, is that something that is currently the Cracking the Universe book? Is that currently out, or it's going to be?
Oh no,
coming out
no.
soon?
The Cracking the Universe. I'm starting. I'm only starting it. It's been. I've just announced it. Starting it. Pre-order will be available soon. I'm planning on finish writing it within the next 2 months. I'm gonna give myself that. That's my deadline for in the next 2 months. I'm gonna finish writing it, sending it to published company, the edits and everything. So I'm aiming to release it by Christmas, by beginning of next year.
Nice.
So that people can go and rise above the whole Corona stuff. Just forget about the negative and focus on what they actually want in their life and how to get it. I mean, I'll be doing traveling on the year that people advise not to travel. So, I'll be doing a lot of things, and it's just because there's things that I want to do.
You coming to Miami?
I was just in Miami.
You were in Miami
a few months ago.
You didn't call us, man? What's up with that?
What? I was in Miami until March 1st, bro.
Oh man, you should have let us know. I'm in Miami, and Peter is a little more up north, but we both live in South Florida.
Oh yeah, whereabouts in Miami? Which area?
It's a suburb. It's called Kendall.
Kendall?
Yeah, Kendall.
It's
like West, kind of like West Miami, and Peter's in is it Hollywood, Peter, or North Miami? I always forget.
Hallandale. I'm across the Mr. Uncle G.
Hallandale?
Aventura.
Hallandale, yeah.
Hallandale.
Oh, okay. So it's like right in between Hollywood and Sunny Isles.
Yeah, where is Uncle G? I see he's building all the time.
Okay, yeah, I know that area.
Yeah. We have also Amanda from Miami. Look.
Yeah. Amanda, where are you at in Miami, if you want to share?
Mike and Andrew, I know he's from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
She's from Brickell Key.
And Ron.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Ron.
Yeah,
Ron was there.
Was there? Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He got shot.
Yeah, I love Miami, but I'm not coming down there. That'd be just not that smart right now with all the cases happening.
Oh man, that hurt, man. That hurt a little bit right here.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Well,
like I'm not gonna comment on that. It's just if I was in Miami now, I'd be running not away from COVID, but towards a place where I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Was thinking the same exact thing, Juan.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as it going wrong. It's just it is what it is. It's the way you take it, right?
That's great.
So if you want it to hurt you, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. So we see some South Florida peeps. We're all gonna go visit Mr. Emanuel. You got some room for us, bro?
Sorry?
You got some room for us over there where you live in your house, or you got some room for some of us
here? I'm in Canada,
here?
bro. Border's closed to everyone.
Oh man, and the border's closed. we're gonna jump the wall.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there is an illegal way to get in, but people are getting caught now. So through Alberta, if you go through Alberta, through Calgary, and you say you're going to Alaska, you can just get into Canada.
Nice.
But I wouldn't recommend that route because it's illegal, number one. And number two, if you get caught, you're going to be put on a hefty fine.
Yikes. And we have an invite from my boy Juan to come visit him over in Medellin, Colombia.
Oh, Medellin, let's go. I'm down. I'm down to go to Medellin. It's actually one of the things I always wanted to do. I watched Narcos. I've been to Colombia before.
Yeah?
Right after everything happened with Escobar. I didn't even realize how dangerous it was. Like while Escobar was at large, I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a hell of a story. Yeah. I think, and Juan, correct me if I'm wrong or not, wasn't Escobar, didn't he operate out of Medellin? I think he was.
I'm not sure. I think he was somewhere. Like, I don't remember exactly where I was. I was super young because I came from Latvia, right? I had the Soviet Union passport. I was Soviet, and didn't really have much freedom, either Cuba or Colombia. So we went to Colombia.
Yeah, good choice there. Trust me. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute Mr. Huang real quick.
Yeah, but Juan wants to be unmuted.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There you go.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What up,
What's
bro?
up,
How you
Juan?
doing, man?
Good, good. I'm actually putting my kid to sleep, and he's not gonna go to sleep. So
Pobrecito.
I'll just talk.
So sing him some
Poor guy.
Metallica, Inner Sandman.
Yeah,
Oh my
man, I have
God.
to. So what was the question?
Yeah, so no question, man. We're just talking about escaping South Florida, where we could all go until the whole the whole crisis thing settles down a little bit, since right now we're in the epicenter here in Miami of the whole COVID.
Dude, I mean, Medellin is the place to be at right now, brothers. Like, the cases are very, very low. Matter of fact, Enrique is gonna move over here soon.
No, bro, you serious?
Yeah, man.
What? That's amazing. That's incredible.
So,
But then
so
again, I know a lot of countries are not taking
Americans.
in.
Yeah.
yeah,
True
it's
story.
borders are closed until September 1st, actually.
Till September 1st.
So
Yep.
September 1st, mark the day, run before the.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like borders are closed here in Colombia until September 1st, but who knows if they're gonna keep it closed for a while longer or what?
Yeah, I know Canada's going to be closed for until like next year.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen with Colombia, but yeah, I can see that happening as well.
Yeah, they're in a very weird circle. Very
Yeah.
hard to get out of it.
But
Yeah.
just before we start losing everybody, I'm gonna just want to say, so we are planning on doing some sort of like a meetups here in South Florida. So Emmanuel, Huang, if you guys are in South Florida, definitely let us know. So maybe we actually have one of our former guests, Mr. Brian Mayoral. I think he's moving to. He said he was going to visit, or he was going to come live here or something. What was it, Peter, that he had said?
He moved already in Brickell. He stays in Brickell right now.
Yeah, so maybe do like a big meetup and kind of have maybe even like a little workshop sort of thing, or just maybe just like general meetups, informal, whatever the case. But yeah, it'd be cool to kind of get everybody in the group all together down
I'm
there.
definitely down for it to come down. I mean, when everything settles down,
Yeah.
I'm definitely. I love Miami. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I left at the best time, but not to hurt feelings, but I'm definitely going to be there, and I'm definitely looking to do a workshop. And there's definitely a person from Aventura whose office is in Aventura. I'm considering on getting to attend the workshop.
Yeah,
To speak at the workshop.
he had one, and he had a boot camp. It was gonna be in June or July, but that one actually got canceled. Everything's getting canceled. Yeah.
And August as well.
Yeah.
And I'm here trying to sell my ticket.
Oh, that's so. Side note: if everybody wants a ticket,
yeah, I'm trying to
talk to Emanuel.
Yep.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
man. I'm always down.
Well, anyhow, the only thing I can say is like this: fear is wonderful to have it as a friend, and worse to have it as an enemy. And I think it was great. The knowledge that you share with us, I think it was a lot of wisdom and a lot of, I will say, things that you put together over the years, because this is not something that you came overnight, and that's great.
Thank you.
And like, by all means, we would like to have you back, and like have more like of you, like getting more of, maybe even when you launch the book, to have like maybe an interesting round table about fear, about mindset, about everything that holds us, I would say, not to be successful, because it's important. And yeah, we would like to also to everybody the idea that, hey, we're still here as a Grow Mastermind, and share with everybody what we do. And if you recommend anybody to come on our show, we are more than happy to take new people and to share more stories great like yours. And yeah, don't forget to go to YouTube to subscribe and love us a little bit. And I just want like everybody to be happy and to see the thing that we're trying to put it together for all the entrepreneurs to feel that gratitude and greatness of growing with us. Like either it is about branding like Troy Holder, or it is about fear, or like you, or Juan with his uh, e-commerce, which is all great, amazing things. I mean, there's there's nothing to be going wrong, like to go wrong with as an entrepreneur, to learn about everything, to understand what every single thing works, so to choose the best options that works for you. So this one, from my side, I thank you very much. And Mr. Tony.
Thank you. Can I just add one more thing?
Yes.
I'm gonna drop one last like big bomb right here. Okay. So Peter, you said that fear is good when it's an ally. It's bad when it's an enemy. I'm gonna add, is the absolute best when it's your bitch.
Oh, love it. Love it. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, so it is what it is, man.
That's what's up, man. Great stuff, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate you, Emanuel. Thank you so much for being here with us on our show. And getting to know more about you. Definitely a really fun guy to talk to. You have a lot of knowledge. So I can't thank you enough, guys. Make sure to check him out next weekend, or to connect with him. And thank you guys so much. Hope everybody has a great week, and we will see you next week, Sunday, same time.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Good night.